All right. Tell me about Young People Changing America.
Well, YPCA is an organization that was started up by young people, and our goal is to reach the community around us, but all for the glory of God.
How'd you guys get started?
A few of us were reading a book called Do Hard Things. It really inspired us to get out there and impact our communities. After a lot of time spent in prayer, we came to the knowledge that there are two fundamental steps we as a generation must take in turning this nation back over to God. The first is we want to get out in our communities and impact them in any way possible. Secondly, we have to teach our generation to articulate their views on things like life, conservatism, creation, and even the gospel.
You guys have established your group on a verse, and it's your, I guess maybe the group's verse or life verse. Tell me about it.
Our verse that is very encouraging to us is 1 Timothy 4:12, and it says, "Let no one despise you for your youth, but set an example to believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." And what it really means to us is just that society may have a really low bar for your generation, but that does not mean that you have to stick to that bar. You can raise the bar, you can raise the standards, and you just really have to, it really enforces us to take the initiative.
What do you guys do to go about impacting the community around you guys?
We do small things like picking up trash or collecting canned foods, but we also do bigger things like we've helped out at battered women's shelters, we've helped the homeless, we've even gotten into politics where we support God-fearing politicians, and we've been to pro-life marches, things like that.
Cool. You guys did something really cool recently over Christmas. Tell me about that.
Over the Christmas break, we had an event called Christmas Celebration. We raised enough food for 2 trailer parks for over 60 families, and over 170 people.
So tell me this, what are you guys doing for your generation, to equip your generation?
Well, recently, just coming up, we have an event called Public Exposure. And in this event, we're having a few speakers, a conservative speaker, pro-life speaker, creation speaker, and also going to have a few bands too. And we hope that this will kick off our generations and changing our generation, sort of get them on their feet and going. And we also have in the next 6 months a lot of other events, smaller events that are coming up, and you can check those out on our website if you want to.
What do you guys see yourselves doing in the future?
To be honest, we really don't have an idea of where we'll be at. When building the organization, we relied on complete faith that our Almighty God had something great in store. So I guess walking forward, it really just depends on where He wants us to be and where He wants us to go. And I think we're all okay with that fact.
You guys are obviously a group of students that actively participates in culture and you want to change culture. So tell me this, what's the difference? What's the mindset? What's different about the student that just passively participates in culture and it allows it to happen to them? And then the student that just actively says, I want to be a culture shaper?
I would have to say it's just taking the initiative. One student isn't better than the other. It's just, you know, maybe the fact that they have realized a calling, because God has called all of us to a certain extent, and once you realize that and just take the initiative. Also, it really helps. We have a great core group of friends that really helps us, so I guess accountability can also be extremely helpful.
The research is very optimistic about your generation. It says that your generation wants to be involved in causes that affect change and do great things. What would you say to the student that wants to be involved in seeing God do something really big?
Man, I would say go. Don't just hesitate. I mean, He's called us all. And as this generation, don't hesitate, don't wait, don't sit on your feet, just go. God's not waiting on you to say, okay, I'm going. He wants you to say it right there. He's not waiting for a hesitated answer. He's waiting you to say yes. And if you have the faith and go out there, man, He's going to take you places you'd never think you'd go to.
What would you say to the student pastor who's training students just like you guys?
Man, discipleship. Discipleship is key. I heard someone say once, evangelism without discipleship is basically child abuse. So if the student pastor will just keep that in his mind that, yeah, these students are wanting to make a difference. What can I do? What you can do is disciple them. Open up more opportunities for them to take. Maybe have a few Bible studies with that core group. Just look for any opportunity that you can help them draw their heart closer to God.
I'm interested to hear from you guys. How do you see the student that doesn't necessarily share your beliefs? Maybe somebody that is okay with abortion, or somebody that doesn't necessarily believe the gospel.
I say, in all honesty, we probably let differences cripple us sometimes. But I guess the key is just to see others through God's eyes and to really just look on them with the compassion and love of God. And even though you may not see eye to eye, you do have similarities. You can find common ground with them, and I guess just work and build from there.
Maybe a strange question, but what do you want your obituary to say?
Mine's easy, servant.
I basically want people to see that in just one sentence, this guy was a follower of Jesus, and I just want people to know that. I want people to say my obituary, yeah, my life was changed by this guy. He showed me love. He showed me a love that I couldn't explain other than God.
Like you were saying, there's the passive people and then there's the active people. I want to be one of the active ones, one that actually sought after God's will and the one that did what He called me to do. I don't want to be the one that just sat around and heard God's voice and did nothing about it.
For me, I think I just wanted to maybe just state that I accomplished something that is greater than myself, greater than anything that I could do, to where it's known that I couldn't have done it, that it could have only been accomplished through God. You know, greater than me, greater than YPCA, greater than our generation.
I want mine to say that I definitely followed the will of God and did what He told me to do.
Your website.
It's youngpeoplechangingAmerica.com.